Welcome to another Japan update, the final update before I leave. Yes, I am tentatively going to leave this coming Tuesday, September 27th. And then I'll be arriving in Japan the next day on the 28th. And oh boy, has it been quite a ride. Let's see. So I was in New York on Friday, a couple days ago, and I got my Japan visa. I'm not going to show you what it looks like, personal information, but I have this cute little, I don't think you can see it. It's like a little passport book, and then inside is my visa, which is in my passport. It comes in like a little sticker form. They just put a big old sticker on the page. And then I also have my COVID vaccination card. And then when I get my residence card in Japan, that'll go in here also. It's important to keep this on you at all times. When in Japan, you never know when you're going to get stopped, and they gotta make sure that you're supposed to be there. So that was fun. To tell you a little bit about the experience. So I opted to pick up my visa. If I had waited for an in-person application date, I would have had to wait like a month and a half. So what you do is you mail everything. There's a whole list of documents that you need to include, and then you have to fill out this liability form, which basically says that the consulate in New York is not liable if anything is lost, damaged. So by mailing it, you're kind of taking a bit of a risk because you're including your passport in there. So you're sending your passport through the mail. So, it's a little nerve-wracking, but I got tracking. They emailed me as soon as they got it. If you want to pick it up, you have to include a little note inside that says, yes, I want to come pick up my visa. Please hold it for me. You give them your name, your email, your phone number. That way they can contact you. And then they emailed me when they received it, and they said, if you don't hear anything from us, your visa will be ready for pickup on Friday, So I went the first day I could to go pick that up. And so to describe the consulate, so I went to the consulate in New York. I saw a line out the building. So I actually went right away, within the first 10 minutes that they opened to allow people to pick up visas. There's only an hour and a half window that they will actually let people inside to pick up visas. And there was a security guard. She asked why I was there. I told her. She's like, okay, go stand in line outside. There's only about 5 or 6 people. So one by one, they were letting people in. You went to the front desk. They gave you like a little tab with like a little number on it. Like if you went to go pick up your deli meat, that little tab you pull. And I kid you not, the number I got, 69. I'll make this up. That's what I got. So they wait for a couple people to gather in a group, and then the security guard takes them upstairs. Then you have like a metal detector thing to walk through, and it's just like any government building where you take your bag, your phone, or whatever you have on you, you put it in a box, it goes to the scanner, and then you walk through, you're all good, then you get another ticket. And then from there, you sit down and you wait. There were 4 different stations there's 4 different people doing 4 different things. So you had like one person doing visa pickup, another person doing whatever the hell. So I was specifically waiting for my number to be called for the visa person. And they had a kids show playing on the TV, and it was just the most ridiculous thing. some Japanese kids show with puppets. I have to tell you about this. So there was like a blue penguin, and his name was Aoyan. And then there was like this pink character named Peachy. And so Peachy would not get off their phone. They were just on their phone talking, and Aoyan was waiting patiently for Peachy to get off the phone because they had a whole plate of takoyaki. And Aoyan was having some existential crisis because they wanted to eat the takoyaki so bad, but they didn't want to eat without Peachy. And Peachy just didn't want to get off their phone. So eventually, Peachy walks away. Aoyan just cannot help themselves, and they ate all the takoyaki. So Peachy comes back, and Aoyan is just super fat and bloated, and then Peachy's just like, just looking at Aoyan all like, oh my god, I can't believe you've done this. And then I got called up, but I thought it was hilarious. Like, just by the little bits of Japanese that I know, I was able to gather that story. But when I went up to the counter, I gave them my state ID. She asked me a few questions, so she grabbed paperwork, and then she went to the back. She came back out, and she had my passport. And like I said, inside the first page, it was just a big old sticker, you know, with the Japan visa information on it, and then my certificate of eligibility was in there. So that's another thing. They said to include copies of a lot of things, like copies of the information page of your passport, and then they said to include a copy of your certificate of eligibility if you want the original back, which I did because I don't know if I'm going to need it again. So just make copies of everything. I wanted that back, and then sure enough, I got it back, and that was inside my passport, and that was kind of it. She had me sign something. She gave me a packet of stuff about like COVID guidelines, an app to download. I think it was called My SOS, and then that's kind of it. I got my visa, I left, and then I had to spend the whole day in New York, which honestly, I just wanted to go home. I was so tired. But I knew it was going to be my last day in New York. And I just had fun. I ran around, I did my usual thing. I couldn't really buy a whole lot, but I had some Korean barbecue, and I went to a cat cafe, and I enjoyed myself. So that's it for the visa pickup portion. Now, when it comes to shipping my stuff, I talked about this before, but damn, like, I have been to the moon and back with this, but I think it's all been settled. I'm going with Kuroneko Yamato Shipping. I mentioned them before. They wouldn't allow me to progress with the process until I was able to show them my Japan visa, which I emailed them the day I got it, and then they just got back to me today. And initially, they emailed me back saying they don't have any availability for September, and I have to wait till October to ship my things. I'm freaking out, like, that's not gonna work. I'm leaving at the end of this month. But I asked if we would be able to take everything to their branch office in New Jersey, and then would we be charged a pickup fee or anything like that? And they're like, no, if you bring it to the branch office, we're not going to charge you a fee, and actually you can do that as soon as possible, and we'll get your stuff shipped out if you bring it to us. So they just didn't have availability to pick it up from me this month. So they are going to ship me their own branded boxes, and I'll get that towards the end of this week. So the plan is to hopefully get those soon, and then spend the weekend repacking everything. And then Monday, my husband is going to drive me, my luggage, and the boxes to New Jersey to drop them off at the shipping company. And literally 20 minutes away is the New Jersey airport that I'll be flying out of. So I'm going to stay the night because all the flights are super early in the morning. So I'll stay the night at a hotel and then wake up super early and head to the airport and fly out to Japan. So I am very happy that I have all of that done. So next point. Where am I going to live? This by far has been the most frustrating thing. You cannot get an apartment in Japan without a guarantor. The guarantors won't work with you unless you have a residence card. You don't get a residence card until you get to Japan and go to immigration. I haven't found any like guide for dummies online that explicitly like takes your hand and baby walks you through this process. I've had to figure this out my own. But I have a guarantor that I want to use. But then I emailed them and they said, oh, well, you have to email the realtor handling the apartment. You want to tell them you want to use us. And then I have to email the realtor. And I've emailed a couple of realtors over the weekend, but it's a national holiday in Japan today. So I'm not going to get any responses back today. So I have to wait till tomorrow. But basically, I'm really not going to know what apartment I'm going to have until I'm already in Japan. Luckily, hotels and Airbnbs are super duper cheap. Like I found a little room for rent for like $19 a night. So I will be living in small rooms, small hotel rooms for a couple weeks until I get my apartment. So then that brings me to the most important, exciting, and final point, which is where exactly I'll be living. I got my placement and I will be living in Hikone in Shiga Prefecture. I could not be happier with this placement. It's perfect. Hikone is an hour train ride from Kyoto, 2-hour train ride from Osaka, 3-hour train ride from Tokyo. Your girl's in the middle of it. Like literally, I'm in a really nice, affordable place to live. It's not like countryside either. I would equate Hikone to where I'm living right now. It's wonderful. I'll be working in like a little shopping center, so there's all kinds of things around me. There's a Starbucks nearby. Very excited. But I'm so happy. Hikone Castle is right near me, which if you don't know, there's like 12 remaining castles in Japan, which were built back in the Edo period, and these are still surviving to this day, and Hikone Castle is one of them. So I'm so excited to just go visit the castle through the seasons and just see all the pretty greenery and the flowers, and I'm so excited. If anyone knows of specific places in Hikone that are worth visiting, please let me know. There is a giant Nitori nearby, so I'm so excited to go check that out. I am just over the moon right now. I am so excited. I'm still stressed out. There's still so much anxiety over all of these things that I need to do. I still have to get my husband's visa when I get there. I still have to orchestrate things to get my cat over there. I have to worry about my cat screaming the entire time on the flight, so we're gonna have to drug her up beforehand, and then that's gonna be my husband's problem. And oh my god, there's still so much left to do. And I told everyone that after I got my certificate of eligibility, things are gonna move fast, and it do be moving fast though. So couple more days and I'm going to be leaving. All that's really left to do is to repack all my stuff when I get those boxes. And that's it. I have like my luggage halfway packed. I'm just kind of sitting here chilling, just enjoying my downtime, and that's it. I'll have I'll have a couple things like filmed of my process of moving and arriving in the airport and everything, but I'm not sure when my next upload will be. Uh, it depends if I can get my PC set up somewhere. I don't know if I will set up my PC. I might try to, just for the sake of like editing videos and getting those uploaded. I'm hoping to get an Airbnb or hotel that I can stay in for like the full 2 weeks that I'll be in Tokyo. But I would say follow me on social media, which there will be a link to that in the description, because I'll be posting tons of pictures on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. So that is going to be your key to kind of stay up to date with exactly what's happening at any given time. But that is it. I will see you again in Japan. Goodbye.